Like
Sorry,
that was, yeah.
This is,
Yeah, you can laugh. Everybody laughed. I was pretty pissed, but everybody laughed, so it's okay.
could you describe me Majesty in one sentence?
Pure fucking heavy metal till the end.
Taking this into account, what does music mean to you?
From music is definitely in my life. Since I was like 13 years old, I always had like the dream of playing guitar, standing on a stage, and doing what I love to, doing what I want to. And since I can really think, I only have this one goal: to play music, to play metal. And I'm so happy and glad that we can do it now and go on tour and meet so many great people all over Europe. So I couldn't be any happier than actually at the moment. Tomorrow the new album will come out, and we really wanted to change everything. We wanted to make everything one step bigger. I mean, it sounds always like everybody tells you all the same when you have a new album out. But this time it really is something different, because that's why we call it Majesty 2.0, because we upgraded everything, from sound to songwriting. All the processes were upgraded in a way. So first we had it in turn, we said Majesty 2.0, and then, well, we should use it for promotion because it's a cool thing. And I think if you listen to the album, you know what we mean with it.
But how can I imagine Majesty 2.0?
As I said, it's more production-wise, it's better. The songwriting is more direct. It's heavier riffs, great choruses, and everything's like one step more. So hard to describe. You have to listen to it, and you have to put your volume up to the whole right side, put in the CD, and enjoy your life.
Why did you start with heavy metal? Why metal?
Yeah, actually, when I was 11 years old, even younger, I found in my father's record collection, I found the AC/DC Highway to Hell album. And as a little child, I said, "Oh, what the hell is that?" I didn't say what the hell. I said, "Oh, what's that?"
Yeah.
And I just listened to it, and I was like, from that moment on, I was blown away. Then I got into Iron Maiden, Accept, all that kind of stuff. And since then, I'm addicted in a way. And I just love that music. And I mean, many people always ask what music should be, and I think music should come from the heart and should be honest when you play music. And for us, metal is in our hearts, and that's why we play it.
That's the right attitude.
Yeah, thank you.
So, how do you take this passion into the band?
Oh, good question. Take this passion. I mean, as a band, you have to be a family, and as a band, you have to stick together and go through thick and thin, and we do that. And that's the attitude of metal is always to like keep on fighting for your beliefs, what you want. There are so many people who always try to say all. Wait a second.
No worries. Take your time.
Yeah, to say all the time that you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And I think the only way to have a good life is to tell those people to fuck off, and to just live your life and live your dreams, and always march forward, no matter what other people say. And this is the attitude you have to put in the band, though, that everybody gives like the full heart, blood, and attitude into it.
Yeah. Did you ever face problems?
Of course.
Attitude?
Yeah, of course. If you're a person like that who always want to march forward, there are always people who try to stop you and go in your way. But those people, if they're going our way, we kick their ass.
Can you remember your first time being on a stage?
Oh, I think it was in music school, whatever, when I learned guitar.
Okay.
When we played with like a group of 3 guys playing guitar. Actually, my first band was Majesty. I never had anything before that. Yeah. So when we started in school with Majesty, and we had our first show with Majesty, a real show with Majesty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember the show?
Yeah, it was very cool. It was like in the forest. They built like a wooden stage, and it was like a party of like a school party. And they needed a band, and we played some cover versions of Accept, Iron Maiden, and all this stuff. And that's how it all started. And then, but we already played our first 1 or 2 own songs, and people liked them. Everyone said, "Well, you should make a demo." And I said, "Oh, why not? We just make a demo."
Yeah.
And then we played less and less cover versions. And then one day we decided, well, why should we play other guys' music?
Yeah.
So we started with our own stuff.
And then it went straightforward.
Straightforward, yeah. Then we had Keep It True album coming out. And then 2002 we got the first record contract with Sound Sorcery.
Do you remember your worst fail on stage?
The most painful one I can remember, it was on the Bang Your Head festival.
Okay.
And between the stage and the audience, there are like some big subwoofers. And I made a big jump. I wanted to jump on the subwoofer, but as Neil fell into the gap between the subwoofer and the stage. Oh. But I could help, and I just fell back on the stage with my arm. And everything was bloody during the second song. And I just stood up and said, "Well, we are warriors, we don't know any pain. And I just kept on singing and was like all the time. But it was the second song, the way to do the whole set. But who cares? I mean, that was the most painful moment. That's what I always remember.
But the people were raging.
People were raging, yeah. And it's on YouTube, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. But don't search for it. You will, I know.
And if I find it, I will link it to
Yeah,
this
of course you will do that.
it's the most important task I now
Yeah,
have to search for it.
search for it.
New life goal. Contrast to that, what is the first moment that comes into your mind when I say greatest moment you remember with Majesty?
Greatest moment with Majesty. So many great moments. But I think the first time I really held this your first album in your hand, and you had a record contract, and the album came out, and on that day, the first time you got it in your hand, that was like a dream come true. You always had as a child. So I would say that's one of the greatest moments. But there are so many cool moments all the time. That's why we love going on tour, because everywhere you go, we meet interesting people, we meet cool new friends, and so many great moments. But I think that was very cool when you got the album the first time and see, wow, we have a record label, we have a booklet, dream of everybody in a way. So
okay, it's time to be honest.
I'm always honest.
I'm pretty sure from the short time we're talking now, I totally believe this.
Yeah, I'm a guy who, why should you lie? I mean, we are honest. We make honest music. We have honest fans, and bands who lie to the fans, I think the fans, maybe they don't realize it in the first moments, but after, if you're really a fan of a band, you realize the band is true to yourself and to the fans. And why should you do that?
So you stay to your attitude.
Yeah, it's not an attitude; it's a way of life. So yeah, definitely.
Then you might be the right person to explain me this. I'm always asking myself, how is true metal defined?
Actually, for me, when I hear true metal, it doesn't have to do with something with metal. It's something. If you play music, you should play the music you love, and not just play music to have whatever chart success or anything. Stay true to yourself. And that's what true metal is about. I mean, you can call it whatever you like, but for us, staying true to yourself is more important than how you name it. So, honest music from the heart.
And going back to your first show in the forest, when you remember that evening, did you expect to sit one day in a tour bus touring with Battle Beast and going everywhere releasing CDs?
Maybe we dreamed of it, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think if you really dream a lot about this stuff and hope for it, then there's a good chance that it comes true. Because if you work hard for something and put all your energy in it, there's always a bigger chance that it might come true. So we dreamed of it. Of course, you never know. I mean, there are so many talented musicians who deserve to be on tour and stuff and who don't get the chance. So, but we are very happy we got the chance, and we always worked hard for it and dreamed of it. So, as I said, I'm as happy as hell at the moment.
Is it like you imagined it?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, the cool thing about touring is, as I said, if you meet people everywhere and meet fans everywhere all over the world and all over Europe. So it's kind of I imagine, actually, yeah. Of course, the first time I went on a tour was like, whoa, what is that? You have a lounge in there, you sleep in the bunk.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody you ask who never been into a nightlife are always afraid that he can't sleep in a bunk like that, but you sleep like a baby. And that was like the first thing I knew in the first tour. I was, oh, can I sleep?
Yeah.
And I went into the bed and was away. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I mean, I think it's taking a lot of energy going into it, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's like you always want to have a routine, but there's always things happening all the time, so you have to be creative with those kind of things. So there's a part which is routine, but you always have to be ready for tasks.
Okay, cool. Why did you found Majesty, and why did you start with all this?
As I said, for me, music.
Let me change the question. How did it begin, with the people and everything?
Well, it began in school actually. As I said, my good friend, we just talked about where we should have a band too, and my friend didn't even play guitar, so I said, I'll show you how it works.
No.
So, yeah. So he played. I learned him the chords and stuff, the rhythm chords.
Yeah.
I played solo because I played solo in the beginning of the band, and then we just marched forward. And that's what everybody should do out there. If you have this dream, do it. Don't wait and think about it. Get yourself a guitar. You can get a okay guitar for 200 or 300 euros nowadays.
Yeah.
Do it. Be creative. Play music. If you want to do it, don't just say, oh, maybe I do it next week. Blah, blah. Go to a music store and get a guitar, or get whatever, a piano and anything, and just live your dream.
That sounds so amazing, but I'm sure you also had to face hard times.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
What was the hardest moment you can remember, if you want to talk about it?
I'd love to talk about some stuff, but there's also some stuff which was like in court, so I can't talk about that. But you know, the problem is, you love music, you love doing what, there's also the business side also to it, and you have to be like, you have to learn during your career. You have to learn this business stuff also, because there are some assholes out in the metal business also, unfortunately, who pretend to, and tell the band stuff, and it's a process of learning that and dealing with that. And I think every band in every career, there's always one downfall and one problem with somebody, and we had the two, and we learned from it. There's not music is the most important thing, but you have to learn this business stuff also, and that's an advice for every band. Just get a lawyer or whatever, and read a little bit about record contracts and stuff. It's important.
But it's still fun considering all the business part.
Yeah, it is, because the other part is way bigger. Okay. I mean, if you have good guys everywhere, we have a good label now. We have a good booking agency. Some great people found together now with Majesty, for instance, and we can trust each other. And now it's really fun. And but it's a process, as I said. You have to learn. You have to have good contracts also, and then you have like 80% of fun also on the road. But I think in every job in the world, no matter if it's like having a bakery or being an actor or whatever, or working, there's always a business side to it. And you have to deal with it, no matter if you like it or not. I hate taxes and I have to pay them too. So fuck it.
What's your favorite beer?
I have to say Distelhäuser, because it's a beer of our area, and they also bring the beer to our KP2 festival, and it's a very delicious beer. So it's not. I'm not just saying it from the camera, but it's a good beer. But actually, I found my love for craft beer also.
For craft beer.
Yeah, for good craft beers. So when we were in the US, we always thought like, US is like they only have like Budweiser, Miller, all that kind of water, which is cold beer. But there's a big craft scene going on there, and there are some delicious stuff out there.
Okay, what can you recommend me?
As I said, Distelhäuser, they also have their own craft beer now.
Oh,
and they have a pale ale, I think. They have a stout. I think they have 3 kinds of. You definitely should try them. If you come to our Keep It True festival, you should all come. It's sold out, but who cares? You should try the beer.
Okay.
Very good beer.
I definitely will.
Yeah.
For sure. We drink one together?
Of course we do.
Okay. Give me a fist.
We do metal now.
Metal fist, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm still into the child mode from the day today, so.
Don't matter. I'm always in the child mode, don't worry about that.
Best mode you can have.
That's the only mode. That's the cool thing about the musician. You always are 16, no matter how. You're like, no. You can stay like 16. I think that's the best age, and we still at it. Even if I get crazy someday, and like a long time ago, I always be 16
Do you
and
prank
hard.
people on the tour?
I know that on the last day there will be pranks played.
Okay.
So we'll see.
we can't talk about it because I want to release this interview next week. So, or can we talk about it?
No, but I will tell you afterwards.
Okay, for sure.
I will make like a vlog video and then send it to you, and you can have it.
And I post it.
Very good. Yeah. Perfect. I can tell you something what happened like 2 tours ago.
Yeah.
They put Tabasco on my microphone on the last show, and I sang into it, and it burned my fucking lips off. And it was horrible.
No,
and everybody was laughing on the side, but who cares?
This is fucking hilarious.
No, it's if you're watching it, it's hilarious. If you have to sing like 10 songs afterward, it's.
Oh my god! But you survived.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay.
And one even worse thing was, but it was not a prank.
Okay.
A guy, they had pyro effects.
Okay.
And the guy put the oil.
Okay.
Right beside my water.
Oh no.
And I was thirsty after the first 2 songs again, and I drank. Is spirituous in English? I don't know.
I think spirit, yeah.
Spirit, and I.
Spirit.
What?
Oh my god.
That was not a prank, but it was kind of funny also for the others.
Oh my god, yeah, I imagine that. But did it have any effect?
Yeah, if you like the day afterwards, if you burp, it smells like being on a gas station. It's like.
Sorry.
That was
Yeah,
you can laugh. Everybody laughed. I was pretty pissed, but everybody laughed, so it's okay.
I'm sorry now. If I would be in your situation, it's not funny at all. But as an external,
it is. I would have laughed my ass off too, believe me.
In general, why do you think should people come to your shows?
I always say that you're normally in life there are always like ups and downs and stuff, and if you really have to have a very great time, have a metal party, and just put your daily life away, that's why we try to give people on our shows. You're in the metal community, stand together, have a party, drink a few beers together, stand there and have fun, and that's all combined in a Majesty show. You should go there. You will see it tonight.
Yeah, I'm curious.
It's
really curious.
kind of magic always. You know, the bond between fans and band is kind of magic, and it's always a big family, and we all have fun together.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
We just talked about it earlier a little bit. You just released the short film Rebels of Our Time.
Yeah, that was great.
I love it, and I would like to ask you, if this would actually happen and the music would die, and there's only one band to survive, which band should survive?
Hopefully we do, otherwise we'll be dead. I don't really know.
Okay.
There are so many great bands that you can't just name one.
Okay.
But it's the basic thing about the movie is pretty true, because if something like that would happen, you should fight. I mean, it's always in our leagues. We're living in Europe. We have a good life and stuff. It's always easy to say fight for your beliefs and stuff, but I think it's the only way to go. If you have belief, you should fight for it. And we would fight for our music all the time.
So what does it take to make a good Majesty song?
I think it's a combination of good hook lines, good melodies, and kind of magic, as I said. It's hard to... You can ask every songwriter, nobody can explain how it works. It's just kind of... Sometimes I wake up at 4 in the morning and I have to go to my piano and just play, and then it feels right.
Yeah.
It's not a thing you can explain, just a feeling and what a good song should be like. So...
Wingardium Leviosa.
Yeah, exactly. Here it is.
Amazing. I was asked earlier by one of my followers, how big is Manowar an influence for you?
I tell you, at the beginning, of course, we listened to Manowar stuff, but at the moment we don't listen that much to Manowar anymore. I mean, we started as a school band, as I said, and we listened to Accept, Manowar, Maiden, all that kind of stuff. But we grew, and now Majesty sounds like Majesty. If you listen to the new album, of course there are influences, but I think we really try, and I think we reached that to find our own sound, to find our own music. Yeah. So it was a process. Of course, every band when you begin, you have like bands you like, and you sound a little bit like them. But nowadays, if you listen to Rebels, it's kind of unique in a way.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it in an arrogant way. I just mean it in like we really tried that to achieve like this is how a band in the new century, in the new millennium should sound like. Why should we sound like a band from the 80s?
Yeah, totally fine.
So we really think about we are young guys from the new millennium. We should sound like a new millennium band in a way.
And honest question. How many interviews did you have so far?
For the album?
In all the band history?
Oh, I don't know. Many. I mean, on good days you get a list from the label, which is like 10 or 12 phoners on a day, and then you get like 4 or 5 interviews on just one day, email. But I love doing it. As I love talking about music and about Majesty because it's my life.
Yeah.
And I can't, also on stage stuff, I want to put it out. I want to show everybody how I love this, how we love our fans, how we love our music. So even if there are like 100 interviews a day, I still love doing them. And if any band wouldn't do it, they can fuck off because they are the fans. The fans want to know stuff from you. So it's a pleasure to answer every interview and every fan. And many fans know that if you ask us if we want to have a beer with us, we always say yes. And of course, there's sometimes the bus is going or anything. But when we have time, we never say no to the fan or to interview or anything because we love what we do and we want to show the world what we do. So
I'm glad you're saying that. Actually, I'm quite happy about it right now.
I really mean it.
But is there a fact about interviews you don't like? Something you really hate in interviews? So for me to learn for the next time.
Now this one was pretty good, but sometimes people ask the same questions all the time. Like the funny thing, what you even like less is like reviews sometimes. If you read reviews and you know that the guy didn't take 1 second of the album and just wrote a review. We had this with a new album now, and we just compared the review for the new album with the last one he did for the last album. It was the word by word. It was exactly the same review. We just changed the song titles. Even the wording was exactly the same. And those guys get the CD for free from the labels and stuff, and they just don't give a shit. And that's what I hate. Interviews are always like fine. Some interviews are like a little boring. This one's like really nice, for example.
Thank you very much.
But
you can be
honest. I'm honest now. I'm not a big fan of reviews because especially nowadays in social media time, you don't need them anymore because everybody can listen to the songs and listen to the band, and then they can decide by themselves if they like them or not, and they don't have to read fucking reviews by some nerdy fat guy sitting in their cellar and just want to. I hate this. I hate that. I hate this. That's a good. And if you ask like many old bands, I always say, oh, I don't like the social media thing. I don't like YouTube. We love it.
Yeah.
We love being on Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, everywhere, because it's a direct way to have contact with the fans.
Correct.
And we love that.
Correct. But is it true? What I heard about reviews, when you want to have a review, you have to pay for it. Is that true?
No, it's not. Many people say that it's not that way.
Okay.
Not that way. No.
Okay. And in general, I mean, coming back to the interview parts, it's glad that you love it. And I know I'm asking a lot of shit. And I'm
answering a lot of shit, so we're making a team, I guess.
But you always try to be creative, and I have one question I ask every band. In all the interviews you had, is there one question you wanted always to answer but was never asked?
Oh, that's a creative question. I have to think about a creative answer now. Wait a second. Actually, I was asked so many stuff in my whole career.
What did you have for breakfast?
I didn't have breakfast today. I just had coffee.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Are you not a breakfast
I
person?
am a breakfast person, but the venue opened at 11, so
Oh.
I had my coffee for breakfast.
Okay.
And I just looked on Google Maps if there was like anything in the area, but it wasn't. So I said, well, have another coffee for breakfast.
Oh my God, this is horrible.
Yeah, but it worked. And then because they opened at 10 or 11, then I had like snacks and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Coming back to the question with the interviews, with the questions asked. What we can do, because I'm interested in this one, and many bands struggle with this question because they say so many
Yeah,
people
this
ask
is way, yeah.
if something comes up, you can make a short record, put it on YouTube, and send me the link.
I will do that. Promise.
I would love that.
Promise, I will do that.
I will do it.
That's a deal.
So, thank you very much for taking your time.
Was
It
a
was
pleasure.
amazing. I had a lot of fun.
Me too,
And I'm
definitely.
looking forward to the show.
Yeah, we will kick some ass.
Take care.
See you later, brother.
Upon my face, never knew what I was missing until now. Made of wax, made of glass, I feel the air while